Some of y'all are gonna call me a straight fool for this video, and you know what? I accept that. I love the DJI Air 2S. In fact, this is, out of all of the drones I've owned, out of all of the drones I tested, my favorite drone. I freaking love this drone. So with that being said, Terry, you talking all this stuff about the Air 2S, why on earth did you order the DJI Mini 3 Pro if that's how you feel? Why you gonna sell your Air 2S? All right, I'm gonna explain this. Just hear me out first, okay? Let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Tight Shirt Terry Warfield. Back in the building. Hope you're having a good day so far. Remember to be thankful for your life today, because life is precious and sometimes I feel like we take that for granted. Listen, let's get on subject. Air 2S, like I said, is my favorite drone ever made. There's so much good to love about the Air 2S. Let's talk about it. 5.4K, 10-bit, great flight time, obstacle avoidance, even though we don't have side obstacle avoidance. Amazing image quality, great in low light, very, very stable, easy to use, great photo camera. Like, it's just so much to love about this freaking camera, right? But at the same time, I've always wanted something that was a little smaller than this. Although this is not a big drone, I've always wanted something that's a little bit smaller. So you probably wonder, like, Terry, why you just didn't get a mini, right? Well, you know, I was never sold on the idea of DJI's mini drones because, in my opinion, there were too many compromises. And I get it, not for everybody, but for me, those compromises were deal breakers. So going back to the Air 2S, I've been using this for the last couple months, and since it's the only thing I can get like around this price point that gives me all of these features, I've been happy with it. But now if there's something else that could give me a lot of what this has, like, you know, your boy kind of got intrigued. So I get it. You know, some of y'all are gonna call me stupid for getting rid of the Air 2S because I'm giving up things, right? 10-bit on the drone, 5.4K and the bigger sensor and all of that stuff. And I totally get that, which I'll circle back around to that in 1 second. All in all, before I move on, I really love the Air 2S. This drone is fantastic, and if you're thinking about copping one, please do not let me talk you out of it. Go get you one. So, why did you order a Mini 3 Pro, Terry? Well, as I kind of said a few moments ago, I really like the idea of a smaller drone. So now that we have a smaller drone, the DJI Mini 3 Pro, and by the way, I've not flown one yet. I wasn't cool enough to get one. I'm just joking, but maybe not. But I've watched every single freaking video on the Mini 3 Pro on YouTube. So I got a good idea of what to expect, what the image quality looks like, flight time, all that stuff. And for me, being able to get a drone that I can literally put in my pocket that's only 249 grams in the stock configuration, that's almost just as capable as this, is a big deal, right? So there's a few things that really, like, made it a no-brainer for me to press that order button. Number one, vertical video. Okay, I'm gonna go back to it, but vertical video. Number two, the size. Number three, the new controller, because I hate the fiddly bull controller that comes with DJI's drones. Number four, hyperlapses. Number five, the flight time, because the flight time on this thing is crazy, and the fact that you could get bigger batteries. Number six, the battery charger that comes with it. I do not like the battery charger. I know it's better than what came on the original Mavic, but I don't like the battery charger at all. That the Mavic Air 2, the DJI Air 2S, I don't like it at all. So I'm happy to see the new charger come into play. So let's go back to this 5.4K 10-bit Terry, you stupid thing, right? Giving up 10-bit on a drone, I understand, is a big deal for a lot of people. I would much prefer to have 10-bit on a drone if I can, but I think back to my use case for the last couple months. What have I been doing? I did make a dope cinematic video. I'll put that right up there using the Air 2S, and I did color grade that video, but I didn't like color grade the mess out of it. I just filmed it a decent alike, you know, fixed the exposure where I needed to, slap my drama LUT on there, which you can get that down below, and it came out fire. So how many times have I actually used 10-bit like for color grading drone footage? The truth is I really don't. And honestly, even if I have to color grade, I'm not pushing and pulling to a point where I'm creating banding in the sky and creating color artifacts and all of that stuff. So what I'm saying is although I would love to have 10-bit in every drone I own, I'm okay with giving it up to get all of those trade-offs that the Mini 3 Pro has. The small size, the vertical shooting, 4K 60, I'm okay with that. Hyperlapse built it, all of that stuff. Like, I'm okay with giving that up. 5.4K, let me touch on that subject now. Some of you might argue with 5.4K and this whole vertical video thing, right? Well, 5.4K is enough for you to just crop in and still get a very high resolution 9:16 image for like reels and stuff like that, because I do like to post drone clips and stuff, the reels and shorts and all that stuff. And yeah, you're right, but at the same time, it's not 4K once you crop in. The second thing is I would much prefer to be able to compose my shot in the air. That is huge to me. So the fact that I can do it on again, like these benefits add up. A small, tiny drone that has obstacle avoidance, the same type of obstacle avoidance that the Air 2S has. It has OcuSync, whatever version, I think 4 now, like, so I can just fly it all the way to Nebraska if I wanted to. I'm not gonna do that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, there are trade-offs, and in my opinion, the great trade-offs of the Air 2S, so the 5.4K, the 1-inch sensor, all that stuff, 10-bit, all of that stuff is great, but the Mini 3 Pro has a lot of that stuff. The sensor is almost the same size as the one in the Air 2S. It actually has a faster aperture. I will miss the wider field of view that the Air 2S offers, but you can get a wide angle adapter for the Mini 3 Pro. The new charger, the ability to get these extended batteries, the new controller, which I cannot stress that enough. I can't wait to get that thing for the Mini 3 Pro. And I already know, once I sell the Air 2S, DJI will come out with a software update that says, hey, you can use the new RC Pro controller with the Air 2S. And I'm gonna be sitting there with the stank face, but it is what it is. The last thing I really want to touch on, the Air 2S flies like a dream outside. Like, it's just so smooth and everything. And one thing I worried about always with these mini drones is how well can they stand up to strong winds and stuff like that. And I get it. It won't be able to stand up like the Air 2S will. But if you look at Peter Lindgren's video, which I'll put right up there, yo, he put a freaking leaf blower to that thing and it held this on, right? The other thing that I don't really care about is HDR. So I'm not even gonna talk about that. All in all, what I'm saying is, I get it. Air 2S is better in some ways. But for me, my use case, what I do with drones, I think the Mini 3 Pro and its benefits, giving us a lot of the same stuff that the Air 2S has. I get it, not everything, but a lot of the same stuff. But that vertical video, that controller, the small size, the great image quality, low light performance that rivals the Air 2S, like, it's hard for me not to want to grab one along with that controller. So unfortunately, although I love you so much, you have been such a good drone to me, I gotta sell her. I gotta do it. She gotta go because there's a new queen in town, and that will be the Mini 3 Pro, which should be arriving in the next few days. So with that being said, I know I didn't have to explain myself to y'all, but I feel good now that I did. You know, I had to justify my purchase or whatever, but I'm curious to know what you think. Are you grabbing the Mini 3 Pro? Which bundle did you get? Or are you still gonna get an Air 2S, or just be happy and keep your Air 2S or your whatever other drone you use? And I'm very curious to know what you think. So with that said, I'm out of here, losing my voice. Till next time, peace and chicken grease. I'm out of here. Much love. Peace.